Hello, this is Taylor Elwood, and I am the Eugene Pagan Pride Workshop Facilitator this year for 2023. And I'm really excited to have April Forrest with us. And April, go ahead and please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and who you are, and then we'll proceed from there.
Well, my name's April, and I live in the Pacific Northwest here outside of Eugene. I'm a tarot reader and an animist, practicing witch, and I have a organic farm out here that I live on. So, yeah, naturalist, spiritualist, and constant seeker.
Excellent. And you're going to be presenting a workshop on August 6th at the Eugene Pagan Pride. Can you tell us a bit about that workshop and give us a little teaser of what we can expect?
So, one of the things I love when facilitating regarding tarot is I really want everyone to be released into their own personal magic when it comes to, divining in the cards. So, what I want to do is give some tips and strategies for pulling on our own innate wisdom and using that to draw conclusions or connections between the cards on the table and how they speak with one another. That could be through tarot or oracle or a combination of both. And so, yeah, I hope to really empower whoever comes by to use some of these techniques to add some new layers to their readings, their divinatory readings.
Excellent. That sounds exciting. How did you get into tarot?
Oh my. Well, way, gosh, that's going way back. So, back in the 90s, we had not a lot of books out there or books on tarot. I started out with the Mother Peace Tarot and the Witches Tarot, which are very different than a lot of the tarots that we see nowadays. But yeah, I was just kind of drawn in. My best friend and I would sit up late at night with our cards and all the candles lit in the room after my children were asleep. And we would just jump into the cards. And back then we didn't really have books on how to read. So yeah, I kind of learned by experience and just intuiting. And then later on, I got into formally studying the tarot.
My first tarot deck was the Tarot of the Cat People.
Oh, that's a great deck. Yes,
Yeah,
beautiful art.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I started reading in the
I got that one right back
1990s.
here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I started reading that in the 1990s, and so yeah, I can reflect on that. And tell us a little bit about your journey into paganism. When did you become a pagan, and what led you to become a pagan?
Well, I think I've always kind of been pagan. I actually grew up in a Unitarian church school, and this was the 70s, and so it's very open. So we were having workshops on women who run with the wolves and various goddess things that were out and kind of upcoming at that time. And so I just grew up in a household that was very open to spirituality. And my mom was always, it was very important to her that I choose what I wanted to believe, that I discover that and make it my own. And so as I went into high school, I actually, as a young child, I would sit on my bed and I would pray at night, please make me magic, please make me magic.
Oh,
And so I think, as I got into high school and, back then we had like Scott Cunningham and Dion Fortune, and we didn't have a ton of books available. That was just kind of my natural bent. And yeah, and then I moved out, went on the road, and I ended up landing on an Indian reservation, a Native American reservation in Northern California. And so I kind of went off into shamanism at that point. And, it was just a natural progression into, I think I've always just been an animist at heart. And I think animism and paganism just, kind of go together like potatoes and gravy. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, as I think, all of us have a sort of a wild ride as we find our way into our magical practice. But this has been a real fit for me, just being in touch with nature and the joy of the freedom and the love that I feel in paganism has created a platform for me to really expand into myself and feel safe in exploring myself. So yeah, how about you? How did you find your way into paganism?
Oh, I started reading the Greek myths when I was a kid. And so I think that that kind of naturally lent a proclivity and then being into fantasy. And then when I was 16, I had somebody sit me down and tell me a wild story about how he had astral projected and run into a spirit. And the last thing he expected was that I would want to read books about the topic and learn more. He's trying to freak me out. But I was like, no, bring me these books. I want to see. And so after that, I started practicing magic and kind of proceeded from there. So yeah, it's like you said, it's been a wild ride. So our final question here, and it's a good one, is what makes you proud to be a pagan? I mean, this is about Eugene Pagan Pride, so we're going to be celebrating paganism on the 6th of August.
What makes me proud to be a pagan? Oh, there's so much there. Oh, that's a really big question. You should have shot this to me sooner so I could have had something prepared. But off the cuff, what makes me proud to be a pagan is freedom, the freedom to be ourselves, the freedom that is afforded to me uh, by diving into something that is so open with so many pathways and so much love and the ability to use my intuition, my gifts, what drives me, the joy that I find in everyday living. And again, like the love, I think there's so much love in paganism. And I think that's something that we need more. And I'm proud to say that I'm a pagan and that I'm here to love people. I'm here to love myself. And I think that's something paganism has afforded me. And I hope that it's something that affords other people as well. So yeah, I am proud to be a pagan because of that, for sure.
Well, that's a great answer. And see, off the cuff sometimes is better because it's just more like in the moment. I like that. So I wanted to thank you for taking a bit of time to share this with us. And to those of you watching, Eugene Pagan Pride is coming up on August 6th, 2023. April's going to be there presenting her workshop. I believe it's going to be at 1 p.m. now, actually. So that'll be
Okay.
when the workshop is. And we're really excited to have you there, as well as all the other amazing attractions and workshop presenters and everything else. So please
Wait,
come to Eugene Pagan Pride.
before we go, I want to invite anybody to come, even if you've never read with cards, come on down and enjoy it. There's going to be so many wonderful speakers, but even if you've never read with cards, I'm sure I'm going to say something that's going to spur you on to want to read with cards because they are so much fun.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to your workshop. I'll get something out of it. I've been reading for years, so I'm sure somebody who's new will also get tons out of it. All right. Well, thank you very much again for coming on, and I look forward to seeing you at Pagan Pride.